Hey everyone, how's it going? It's great to see you in a different setting than usual. I'm really excited about this. Welcome to vMix Bootcamp Live. It's a new series we're doing. Well, not really. We've been doing vMix Bootcamp for a little bit now, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to show you how we use vMix in real time. You can ask questions, and I can see some already coming in. We'll get to you in just a moment. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to be hanging out here a couple hours, setting up for our show tonight, which is Carry the G with AJ Dillon, going live on our Cheesehead TV channel. And Cheesehead TV has become something that I've really loved for its opportunity for us to show you how we do shows. And we use Cheesehead TV as a proving ground for some of the technologies that we use. We test a bunch of things out on it, and that includes one of our first ever live streams from the LiveX channel since Ready Take Live, it's been at least a year since we've gone live from the LiveX YouTube page. And a lot's changed in a year. A lot has changed in a year, as you can tell by my mask and by a different environment than we used to be in. This is a new office for LiveX. And yeah, we're just so excited to show you some of the ways that we're doing things now. Because like I said, it's changed a lot in the past year. And as we keep releasing vMix training videos, vMix bootcamp videos, it's a great opportunity for you to always be asking me questions there. But you can ask them live, and I'm sure that you'll have a lot of them. So Randy, you can share this video just by clicking the share button underneath the video. You'll actually be able to share the link and share it to whoever you like. And Camera Mosaic, thank you for the training. Thank you for joining us. You guys are some of the first ones here to do this. So I'm going to get started. Now, I had a really stressful time preparing for this because I was preparing for this live session, and I knew that I'm going to roll my mask up here so it stops falling down. I knew that I had this Carry the G show today, and I kept telling myself, like, I'm not ready. And I keep forgetting that I'm going to set it up for you basically in real time. We have a few things preloaded for you, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to watch it all. But without further ado, let's give you a little preview on what we're doing. And we have Paige behind the scenes. Everyone say hi to Paige. Paige is going to be mixing this show live here. And then she is also the graphics engineer for tonight. So at some point, she might have to hop off her stage here at a vMix Bootcamp Live and start rehearsing with us. But we haven't gotten that far yet. We're not even close. So let's jump over to our first machine. Paige, if you wouldn't mind taking the Remy 3 camera up, y'all can see what we're working with here. We have a big Remy here. This is called Remy 3. And Remy 3 is located in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we have a lot of stuff going on here, but a few things that I want you to keep in mind. So this right here, this is amber, trusty old amber. All of our machines are named after gems, stones. So we have amber here. We got beryl right here, and then we have coral over there. And these are all P-Bot Switch 8s. So a Switch 8 has a Corvid 88 graphics card in it, as well as some sort of NVIDIA GeForce graphics card in it as well. And so these are awesome because it allows us, our entire studio is hooked up with baseband. And baseband equals SDI. So we are mostly using SDI for our setup, and I think that makes it a little bit different than some of the other setups that you might see online. A lot of people lean really hard into NDI, and you're going to see some NDI in this setup. But the reason that we use so much SDI is we're pretty invested in hardware because we do a lot of field shows as well as a lot of virtual shows. And the benefit of SDI is once it's plugged in, once you've got audio embedded, you know it's working. And I love that stability of it. So we have a lot of SDI that we're going to be doing today, and we're going to show you the tricks on how we get SDI in and out of different machines, because we're not just running P-Bots here. So if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. I'm actually going to be monitoring the comments here. If you see LiveX in the YouTube comments, that will be me. And on LinkedIn, thanks for joining us on LinkedIn. Same deal. You're going to see us. You're going to see me in the comments commenting as LiveX. So cool. Let's go over now to Amber, which is this bot right here off to my right. This is our main switching bot, trusty old Amber. And Amber is kind of a beast. Amber has 6 SDI cables coming in at all times and 2 going out. And so through these SDI cables, we're going to bring in the machines, our Zoom machines, on hardwire. So let's cut over to the Amber screen share, and you can actually see what's going on here. So we have a bunch of inputs already, and you can see I've already preset some of this because, like I said, if I hadn't, this would have been an absolute nightmare because I would have had to stop sharing, and it just would have been a total mess. So right here you can see our slate, and you'll see me doing a lot of keyboard shortcuts here. I kind of have this like thing that's legacy from TriCaster where I'm always hitting enter to cut and spacebar to fade. I know that's pretty well supported. I personally don't use the Stream Deck a lot, so you'll see me doing a lot on the keyboard, and let me know if you have any questions about that. So what we're excited to do here is show you just the general layout, and then you can kind of take this layout, as I do in the vMix Bootcamp series pre-recorded. You can actually take this layout, and you can learn a lot from it, because this is a really widely used sort of show, right? So we have our slate here, and I have this slate as a safety. We're also going to have it coming in off of our graphics machine as well, but it's always good to have a slate on your main switching machine, just in case your graphics machine goes down, you have it. This background, man, we are going to be using this background a lot for all of our mortises, all of our 4 boxes, 5 boxes. You'll hear me use those words interchangeably here. And we have a 1 box. Now, This 1 box is actually built from a 1 box graphic here. You see this 1box.png. This is a graphic, it's just a PNG file, and you can see that the middle is transparent here. And I'm going to use this 1 box for all of our talent. I'm going to have one built out. I like to keep a custom and consistent style throughout the entire show. So you're going to see me use this 1 box a lot. We have the same for our 2 boxes, our 3 box. 3 box V2, I'm not going to use that one almost ever. 3 boxes are pretty rare to use in this show. I'll get to why later. 4 box, of course I missed 4 box, 5 box, 6 box. We have all these. These are pre-built. So something that you'll realize is I'm going to use these PNGs for basically every single input. It's how you get a consistent style throughout your show. So it's important to have that. Alternatively, I'm not going to go through this method. You can always do a layered approach. So if all you have is a background and you don't want to go into Photoshop and redesign all these mortises yourself, you can just build it in layers in vMix. The downside to that, in my opinion, is it allows for a little bit more room for error if someone moves. So if someone moves off to the side and they're like right here, you can't grab their thing and move them over because it messes up your entire mortise. So that's why we prefer to use the PNG with mortise boxes in them. So just a little tip there, you can do it either way. You'll usually see us doing PNG, and our awesome graphics designer, video editor, Eric, he's the one who designs so much of what you see on Cheesehead TV, as well as the assets for this show. So thanks, Eric. All right, let's get back to it. So you see most of our assets here. I'm going to minimize these, and I'm always just right-clicking on the titles to minimize these here. I'll wait until I see that you can see my desktop here before I go too much further. So now, what else we have? Well, Aaron, this is kind of the key that makes this show work. Aaron, he is our main talent. I think he's watching this right now. And Aaron is going to be calling in through a vMix call. And the reason we're going to do it that way with him is vMix call, pretty good quality, right? It's not SRT, but it's pretty good quality. And we're able to give him individual IFB, individual foldback back to him. So yeah, we're going to have him come in over vMix call, which is going to come right here. And then we have all of these inputs. You can see I have a few things coming in here already. So what these inputs are actually SDI coming in. So if I were to click on this setting here, you'd see it's Corvid 88 input 1. And it's like that input 2, input 3. Oh, sorry, I clicked on the same one twice. Input 3 here, you get the idea. So we have Corvid inputs going up to input 5 in this case. And I'm going to end up adding another here as well. You'll actually see these names are from last week's show. So I'm going to need to change these. So this, I just kind of took last week's show and I'm going to recreate it, right? So I have these coming in just on SDI cables. And the way that I do that, if I wanted to build this from scratch, yes, that's okay for this one. I'd go to the camera input here and just click on Corvid 88 input 3 and click OK. Same thing coming in, right? I just redid it. And you can see that the way that we actually have it managed, and this is oftentimes where I start, is we have it all on a Blackmagic 40x40 hub. So we have here, let me take you on a quick little adventure here on the gimbal. So I'm wired in. There we go. The cable got. Okay, so if I come over here, you'll see we have these racks, right? There we go. In each one of these, we have a 40x40 hub. There we go. My gimbal's catching up. And then we also have one in our other Remy, which is just on the other side of this wall. But these hubs are really what routes our SDI all throughout the facility. Oh, good job, gimbal. You're showing everyone what I don't want to show them. There we go. Not that I don't want to show you. It's just the gimbal gets all twisted up when it's in selfie mode. There we go. So there we are. So I'm controlling those here on this desktop right now on Amber. So as I come in here, let's see. I have, and guys, feel free to let me know if you have any questions about this. Like I said, this is when we start getting into the tech and into how we're actually doing this. So this is a perfect time to ask questions. So let's go back to Amber here, where I have our video router set up. Rearrange this. There we go. So on the left, I have a drop-down with all the sources that are available. And then on the right, I have a drop-down. I don't have a drop-downs, but here I'm going to go to my Remy 3 Smart Hub. I'm in Remy 3 right now. That's the room I'm in. And so what I have here is I have PBOT A. A stands for Amber. So A, 1 through 4. So these are my inputs. I said that I have 6 inputs, and that's because we've actually temporarily repurposed some other inputs here. We used to have an audio monitor here, and we have this Terranex here. Sometimes we use those as well. But right now they're inputs for Amber. So let's take it this. So I have B, that's barrel, 8, that's good. Let's see, A, coral, 08, that's good. So these are outputs coming from those PBOTs. Then we have aster, begonia, clover, and daisy. Okay, so all of our stuff is routed correctly here. I need to refresh my desktop capture, I've been told. Let's do that. How did I accidentally get rid of my desktop capture? Oh, look at that. There we go. Thanks, Paige. There we go. I guess my desktop capture stopped working when I turned on a monitor. That's my bad. Anyway, so we've got a bunch of, yeah, Scott, thanks. I think I just fixed that, and that was my bad for accidentally refreshing a screen. So here, let's come back here. There we go. So I have coming in to Amber here. I think this is the part you all missed, so sorry if you got some of this, but I'm going to show you again. I have R3B, that's barrel, output 8, coming into input 1. R3C, that's coral, output 8, coming into input 2. Aster, begonia, we're going to get into those. Those are part of our Zoom garden, as we call it. And then we have clover and daisy here. So everything's routed correctly here. That's great. So when I actually pull these up, you'll see, here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add an input. I'm going to add 2 more cameras. So I don't have 5, right? Yep, 5. And I have to add 6 here. I'm not completely sure how many people are going to be joining us today. I'm going to drag these up to the top. So I'm going to have all of them ready. There we go. There we go. Cool. So I'm gonna rename this. So I know AJ, it's his show. So I know that he's gonna be here. Janet, I don't think she's gonna be here. So I'm gonna start renaming this. So I'm gonna do Zoom guest 1, and actually this is gonna be let's see. So I have Zoom here. That's gonna be Corey. Zoom guest 1. Zoom guest 2. Zoom guest 1 is usually Tyler, so I'm going to put Tyler there for now. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just getting ahead. What I call them doesn't really matter for the purposes of actually showing you this. Zoom guest 3. Did I do 3? No. Good. And Zoom guest 4. Cool. Excellent. And you can see I have these coming in, and I'll get to those in a second. So cool. So I have these ready, and then I need to get these two up here. So I'm going to take you over to Coral here. I'm going to get this set up, and here we go. Let's take my laptop. Let's take this. Oh shoot! There we go. I accidentally unplugged my headphones there. Let's walk over. I got so much stuff here, guys. I should have come up with a more elegant way to do this. There's not really a more elegant way when you're monitoring the chat and setting up a show and your talent all at once. Talent, I'm not talent. I'm usually behind the camera. All right, cool. So now I'm on Coral here. So Coral, this has our Zoom setup here, and this is another vMix. If it wasn't immediately clear, guys, we have vMix running on like every computer here. So when you see vMix a bunch of places, I know it can get a little bit confusing, but that's how we got it going here. So this right here, this input 8 desktop capture. This is just for me to share my desktop with you. I don't use that in the show. We have a different desktop capture here. So this desktop capture is capturing a second monitor here. We have a hold color. This is where I can edit the title. So I'm going to do that in a second. And then I have an audio cable here, an audio return coming in here. We'll kind of go over this as we get to our audio setup, and a Zoom output here. So okay, so what I'm going to do is start getting us into our Zoom session. So let's do this. I'm gonna take the full screen off here. There we go. And Paige, if you could actually please take me wide. I might be getting into some things that I don't want to share here, which is the Zoom ID. Thank you. I'm not gonna let y'all hack me. Not that you'd have any intentions of doing it. Okay, so all of this is hosted on a Trello. We use Trello a lot here. It's an awesome tool to keep track of pretty large projects. Let's do this. Do you have any questions so far, guys? A lot of people are asking, oh man, I can't see something. I'm sure that you can now. Sorry about that. So on my Trello, I have the Zoom meeting saved. So Zoom is how we're going to bring most of our people into our production here. So I need to log on to that to get this going. It's having me two-factor. Any questions, guys? Just let me know. Confirm whether it's you trying to sign in. Yeah, you know, you'd think I'd be 2FA'd on every computer here, but I'm not. Yes, it's me. Got it. Okay, cool. We're good. We're in good shape. Cool. Cheesehead TV, content, and Zoom link. Excellent. Open Zoom meetings. Excellent. Join without video for this one. Cool. And then I'm the Zoom administrator, so I have Zoom open on my personal computer here. All right, Paige. It is safe to come back to Coral now. Thank you. Cool. All right, so you'll see now, I'm in a Zoom meeting here. I'm going to come here, so I have LiveX Coral. Cool, that's the machine name. I'm going to keep that over there. I'm going to drag this over here. You can see it now in the desktop capture here. That's my other monitor, right? So cool. I'm in decent shape right now. So if I actually turn, I'm in the meeting on my computer. If I actually turn my camera on here, hey, I'm gonna do this. You see me there? So I'm going to do view, and I'm gonna do speaker view, and then I'm gonna pin this here. I'm gonna go to full screen. I'm just gonna test this. This window, I drag over to my other monitor here. You can see that. And then I click on chat, and I click on participants. Participants already picked up, clicked here, I drag these over. Cool. So this way, if I have a talent and I had a question, the intuitive part of you might be like, oh, well, I'm going to type my question in. This way, if they type that question, it doesn't pop up in the Zoom window. So I drag all those over. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I'm going to unmute myself here, and let's see. I am able to hear. I know why. That's fine. Cool. There we go. There we go. Okay. Excellent. So now I'm coming in here. Where's my cable? There we go. Coming in here. Okay, so I got my desktop capture working, but my audio device is not. So I'm going to come over here. Here, let's pop up my audio settings here. Okay, this is the most important part. I'm going to mute myself here. So, my speaker, I want this to be, we use Dante all over the place, but then we're also using VB cable, V-band cable. So, I'm going to use, let's see, here, this is my Zoom return. Oh, sorry, that's my other return. Oh, I know why we don't have audio here, but that's okay. I'm going to set it up anyway. On Coral, we don't bring audio in because we do that on Barrel, but I'm going to do it on Coral just for the sake of demonstration. Let's do audio input. I need to start here. So I'm going to start with my audio output here. Audio outputs. Cool, I need an audio output. So I'll come here to A, and I'm going to click on, let's do cable input. I click on OK. It's going to restart. You're going to lose my screen capture for just a second here. It's normal. It needs to restart. I'll restart it in just a second. I check the comments. I'm getting Zoom into vMix, not through NDI actually, but through. I'm going to get it eventually through vMix's own external output. I'm going to go through that signal flow in just a second. There's a reason why I don't do NDI, and we have a beast of a network here at LiveX, and NDI and all of the Dante. Theoretically, NDI 6 should have solved it. It didn't, so we're working on that. But we haven't been using NDI a lot because we do so many sources at once that even if we could use it, we would need to go to 10 gig switches literally everywhere, and all the Ubiquity switches we have wouldn't be compatible. So that's the main reason I don't do as much NDI everywhere. I still use it some places, but not everywhere. NDI is a beast in the cloud. Use it in the cloud literally all the time. But on-prem, we don't use NDI as much as some other companies do. Cool, where was I? Oh, yeah, audio. So let's do this. I'm going to click on my Zoom again here. I'm going to go to audio settings just to kind of prove a point here. Cool, so for my audio output here, I have audio outputs. Cable input, VB virtual audio cable. So here for my, thanks for hiding my settings, Zoom, audio settings. Drag this back over. Here for microphone, I'm going to do cable output. There we go. So that's going to be the return back. And then here for speaker, I'm going to do cable B input. Click on that. Add an input. I'm going to go to audio input. I'm going to do cable B output. Cool. So now if I unmute myself in Zoom here, hey, check 1, 2. Let's see here. Oh, it's, there we go. I got it. Check 1, 2. Audio settings. Let's do this. Test speed. Thanks. Okay, it's coming in, so I can see. Yes. Stop checking. Oh, you know what it is. We got a feedback loop coming in, so let's see here. Turn that off. Oh, I'll do it. It was looping back in. There we go. Now it's working. Oh, it's expanded out. There we go. Okay. So, awesome. So I have audio coming out of Zoom right now. I'm going to get audio coming back into Zoom at some point here. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use Dante. So I have Dante receiver 1 here. Dante RX1B. Let's see. I always double check this. Audio outputs A. So here's what I'm going to do. So this right here is going to go to B. There we go. So B is going to be what I output. And then A is going to be my return. So I'm going to map Dante receiver to A. There we go. Awesome. I'm going to come back to that. So now, what have I set up so far? So far I have my audio coming in and out. I don't have anything routed to Zoom right now through Dante, but I'm going to do that later. Now I need to get my video out. So I'm going to click on Start Video over here, and you can see I don't have any video coming. So I'm going to click on External. There we go. So what I have here, you guys, is come back on video settings here. If you just set your camera on vMix video, it's going to do what you need it to do. It's going to take output 1. So what I have here is a mix input. So if I if I cut this, excellent, and I cut this, excellent, cool. So let's go over this. Let's go over how this is set up. We've got vMix video coming, right? So this is going to be output 1. Go to my settings. Oop, drag this over, outputs. Output 1 is set to input 1. Okay, so it's sending whatever is on input 1. So if I cut this, I have too many windows open. If I cut this, you'll see that what they are seeing is not any longer me. It's Coral. So the reason we have this isn't immediately apparent. If there's no one in this Zoom call except for our machines here, it's really difficult to tell which machine you're pulling in. So we have this so that if I turn my camera off here, well, it's not going to quite work because I'm in the meeting. So we have someone in the meeting. Oftentimes, we don't have someone in the meeting when you're setting this up, right? So if you have this sort of input, this sort of mix input here, it basically just creates a stand-in name and stand-in caller. So I've got that going on for myself now. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so that's enough for this machine. I'm sure that you all will have questions a little bit, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all over again here. So now I'm going to do this on Barrel, and you won't be able to see it because, oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can come over to Amber and do it. I'm going to do that. Cool. Doop. How are you guys doing? Where are you watching from? I see a few familiar names on here. Where are you watching from? How's it going? Feel free to ask questions. Even if it's not specifically related to this exact setup, feel free to watch, to ask questions as you see fit. Let's see. I'm going to turn off my camera here in Zoom. Every time I get up and down, it's a big ordeal, so I'm going to try to not do that so much. Awesome. Okay, I'm back to Amber here. So I'm going to go into Parsec and do this because it's just going to be a lot easier. I have Barrel right here. Awesome. Most excellent. So if I full screen this, it goes where I needed to go. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to open up Zoom on this machine now. Paige, if you could please take me wide. I'll go to Trello. Awesome, thank you. Click on here. Just to reiterate Scott's question again, I'm not getting just in case anyone came in late, I'm not getting Zoom into vMix through NDI. I'm getting it in just through vMix's built-in virtual camera. By the way, when you do that, audio doesn't work the same way as NDI, so it's kind of nice. Here, I'm gonna do this. There we go. Audio doesn't work the same way as it does for NDI. That's why I needed the extra. That's why I need the extra cable, extra virtual cable. Excuse me. This. Click on the Zoom link. We are running. Let's see, how many machines are we running? We're running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Running 17 vMix machines. Not all of them are P-bots, though. I'll get into that in a second. 17 split over 2 Remys right now. Building some more. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, I'm going to join with video for this one. Oh, Paige, sorry, we're good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Join with video here. This meeting, I gotta let us into this meeting. Y'all can't see me do that. So the vMix machines we're running are a combination of production bots, P-bots, and I need to do this. Combination of P-bots and also what we call the Zoom Garden, which are these Lenovo mini PCs with a bunch of converters attached to them. We do that because it's easier for one operator to do. We do a lot of shows where we have something like, I don't know, 12 talent on Zoom. It's a huge pain to have everyone on a bunch of P-bots. So if we use smaller machines and then do a bunch of work on like, I'm going to pop this out here. I literally walked over here to do this because it'd be easier than doing a second thing on Parsec. Cool. It's way easier to do synergy with a bunch of screens versus doing a bunch of P-bots. Jesus, this is so tangled here. Sorry, just a moment. I'm using a hardwired mic here. You know, maybe on V2 of vMix Bootcamp Live, I'll get a wireless mic. Cool. And for this show, we just have 3 techs plus talent. It's a pretty low tech count for this show. Cool. Okay. Excellent, excellent. So, same deal here. You can see Zoom output is going because I'm unmuted here. If I turn on my video, hey, you can see this is me coming in through Zoom right now. I'm gonna turn that back off. So, and if I cut here, excellent. So barrel is going. So at this point, what I'm going to do is pull up, we have this thing called Live Show Creator. I actually want to show you all Live Show Creator. Paige, can you take me wide real quick, please? I want to get over to Live Show Creator and show you guys how we organize this show. Thanks, Paige. Let's see, Live Show Creator. All right, Paige, it's safe to come back. Thanks. You can see a little behind the scenes of what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so let's see. We got Dyer, Justice, and Jimmy. Cool. So Dyer, Justice, and Jimmy. Excellent. So Beryl, let's see. Beryl is going to be... I'm going to disconnect here. Pull up vMix. I'm dumb. I gotta start the virtual output, or the output, excuse me. Let's start the output. So this is how we get out of the P-bots, by the way. If I go into external and click on my external renderer, you need to make sure I'm on Corvid 88 output 7 here. And then my audio bus is not going to be master. It's going to be bus A in this case, because that's where my zoom output is going. Oh, sorry, it's actually, I'm wrong. I'm going to go out of output 8, and there we go, there's bus A. The reason I need to go out of external 2, output 8, is because external is married to input, or output 1. Output 1 is going to zoom, so I need to use output 2 to feed it into my switcher. So I'm going to go external 2, output 8, and click OK. Excellent. So now when I click external, cool, it's working. You guys can't see it. I have a multi-view up here where I can see all my inputs coming in there. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Barrel is going to be AJ, I believe. I'm gonna get out of here. This is my switcher. Oh, it's gonna be Corey. Actually, Corey's gonna come in to barrel. Cool. I'm gonna go back to parsec. Go back to barrel. Corey Benke. Corey. Cool. Corey. Excellent. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do the same for Coral. This one's going to be AJ. AJ Dillon. The Quadfather. Spell. I'll check my external output here. External 2. Output 8. This is actually, I have bus A, but I switched it. It's actually going to be bus B, I believe. Right? Zoom. Output. I muted it. It's fine. I'm not actually going to use it. Okay, cool. It's good to know where your audio is going, and right now it's not going anywhere. It's totally okay because this is a backup right now. But if I wanted to do anything with it, I would need to put it in to bus A. Okay, it's good to know. Cool. And here, I'm going to cut there. There. Go to my settings. Go to outputs. And awesome. So output 2, this is what's going to my switcher. So I'm going to make sure that this is set to the desktop capture. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so cool. Full screen. I know. Okay, there we go. So now I have AJ Dillon coming in there. Disconnect. And there we go. So AJ's coming in now. Awesome. So now I have my externals going for basically everything. And I'm talking in Zoom right now, and I can see that I'm getting audio from Zoom. So far I'm in pretty good shape. I have basically everything I need video-wise to get into the show. So the only thing I don't have is Aaron here, and that's okay because Aaron's a vMix call, not coming in through Zoom. Okay, so I'm going to briefly show you all the Zoom Garden and what we've got going on here. This is arguably the thing that I'm the most proud of when it comes to our setup here. Hold on, I'm going to get untangled here. Just a moment. Paige, I love how you took me wide while I'm trying to untangle myself from a chair. Like a total noob. There we go. Jeez. Let's invest in some wireless mics. Just kidding, we have them. I just didn't use them. Okay, cool. Let's go to the gimbal now. So, this is inverted. This is inverted. There we go. Okay, so this is our Zoom Garden. And so what our Zoom Garden does is it is each one of these, this is coming in through a Blackmagic multi-view here, and each one of these is a machine that's in this rack here, in this Whisper rack. This Whisper rack has 4 Lenovo P340s in them, And the P340s are really awesome mini PCs, pretty popular. They have a lot of I/O. So what we've actually done is with a bunch of vMix outputs and Blackmagic multi-viewers, built a Synergy server, basically. And the Synergy server allows us to do a bunch of vMix outputs without needing to have PBOTs everywhere, right? Each PBOT is an investment, both in space and in money. And the benefit of doing a Synergy server is one person can operate it in front of 2 monitors like that. It's really easy to operate. With one single keyboard and mouse, you can do everything. So I'm actually going to come and make sure that these are all set up here. Let's see. Come back here. The gimbal operation is not the most sharp, I'll admit. So what I'm going to do is just come in here and get onto Zoom on every single one of these, and you'll see that I can do that with a single keyboard and mouse. So my mouse is, you can't see it right now, but it's over here right now, and then I can come down here, I can come over here, anywhere, all with one keyboard mouse. Makes it really easy to operate. You might have seen, if you look at our LiveX studio tour, our Zoom farm, which is in our New York office. Zoom farm's awesome, and we still have it. Thing is, takes up a lot of space. Takes up like a whole Remy just to do a Zoom farm. With this, we can fit. The density is not so much of an issue here, right? You can just build up a rack with as many machines as you want, put them on Synergy KVM, and then you have as many Zoom machines as you need. So that's pretty beneficial. The reason we do this is so that we can get audio ISOs for each caller on Zoom, right? We could easily do vMix call. Thing is, not everyone knows how to use vMix call. Not that you really need to know how to use it, but if you've used vMix call, you know what I'm talking about. And this way we can do audio ISOs, ISO recording for each Zoom caller. It's pretty powerful, right? Cool. 444, making good time. So I'm going to actually, log on to the Zoom call for each one of these machines. It's a little bit of a manual process, but I'm just going to go to the Trello. And then I'm going to walk briefly over to my computer and see if we had any questions coming in. Let's see. I know that we had the question about how many techs do a show, which I know I briefly touched on, but I think it's important to talk about. So, in general, we have, a tech per every 4 talent that come in. We have 6 talent here. Thing is, 2 of them are LiveX employees. so they know what they're doing. They've done this quite a bit. And then we have guests that come on. We have AJ Dillon, obviously, it's his show. We have Tyler Herrick. He's Cheesehead TV's Twitter guru and social guy. He's an awesome dude. And then we have up to 3 guest contributors who are oftentimes journalists for other Packers-related sites, friends of the show, as it were. And, we invite them on, and they get to ask AJ Dillon a question. It's a good time. Okay, I'm in there. Now so I'm just going machine by machine and adding them here. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I know this is a different pace than maybe some of you are used to. Just going through the steps. This is admittedly the slowest part because it's just repetitive. I just need to open up Zoom for each person. Cheesehead TV, Trello, awesome. Carry the G. Join the video meeting, awesome. Zoom meetings. Join with that video. All right, got one more to go, and then I'm done here. any questions about how we're setting it up, just let us know in the comments below. We will get to them. I'm not looking at my computer right this second, so I'll get to them in just a second. Join Zoom, open Zoom meetings. And as you might have noticed, like when I'm working with P-bots, just because every single one is its own keyboard and mouse, it honestly takes, you'd be surprised how much just keeping your keyboard and mice on the same spot helps you out when you set it up. Scott, we're going to make parts of this video replayable, but probably not the whole thing, because that would be extremely boring for everyone. I don't have the banter skills that Mr. Nagler has. Okay, cool. So now I've added all these machines in. The Zoom farm has 4 machines per KVM, 4 machines per. So, funny enough, in New York we have 2 or 3 times as many Zoom machines. But with each Zoom, each Zoom farm is 2 Blackmagic Multiview 4s and 4 Lenovo P340s, and each one can be operated by 1 person. So it's 4 machines per person. 4 is not a arbitrary number for multiple reasons. The first reason it's not arbitrary is because even when we were not using KVMs, even when every single one was a P-bot, LiveX, Clover, even when every single one was a P-bot, 4 talent is about as much as a talent producer can handle without being overwhelmed, and spend a good amount of time. So if you have 4 production bots in a Zoom farm, we have a Zoom farm, which is production bots, and a Zoom garden. We spend a lot of time on the names, guys. So all of our gardens are named after flowers. So we got aster, begonia, clover, and daisy. And a Zoom garden, which is with the Lenovos, emulates a Zoom farm, except it's way less space, and it's all on 2 monitors versus 4 P-bot monitors, right? Which actually turns into 8 monitors, then you need the desktop pin as well. So with this many, we find that it really just makes sense. 4 really is a good number for you to keep your eye on, and then it's a good number for the KVM too. Cool. So now I'm full screening everything on all of these machines. Full screen. And let's see, who are my talent again? So I got obviously AJ, Dillon. We got Tyler. It's actually not hugely important right now. We are all in the meeting and set up and ready to go, that's what matters. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to set up audio. Audio is a big deal. Let's take a seat. Hey, Scott. That's a good question. All of our systems, most of them are connected to the Blackmagic Video Hub. We find ourselves limited by a 40x40 router, actually. It's the biggest one that Blackmagic makes. The downside of it is we have a lot more machines than I think it's typically designed for. In New York, we have a Ross Ultrix that does routing. It's like our broadcast grade router, and then we have Blackmagic 40x in each REMI. It's a good model. We find that model breaks down a little bit when you're doing all these Zoom machines as we are. Again, we go through a lot of trouble to use Zoom for things where you have non-professional talent. where it's more important that it's easy for them to get in versus the best possible quality. So, yeah, Blackmagic 40 buys, almost big enough. Not quite big enough, but almost big enough. If they had a 60 buy, I think that would be an awesome product, and you'd probably only need maybe 2 more RUs. Goes from a 4 RU to a 6 RU. I'm not doing the math. Culver's, everyone. Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Culver's representing. All right, cool. I'm on Amber here, and you can see I got my Zoom machines going. It's great. Okay, now we have the fun part. And this is, I think, the part that is quite different from what I think a lot of, from what you've seen before. It's pretty hard to demonstrate on any video. It's going to be tough to demonstrate on this one, but I'm going to set up IFB for everyone now. And by everyone, it's not quite that way. Unlike a normal show where you would put each talent in their own breakout room in Zoom, for this one we don't do that. The reason why is because everyone lands inside our Zoom meeting about 10 minutes ahead of time, and we generally don't find the need to do individual IFB for each talent. It ends up being really more than you need. Our talent is all talking to Aaron and Corey. Corey's in the Zoom room with everyone. Aaron's on vMix call, but we route his audio back through. So when you have IFB, like a single IFB to the Zoom room, it becomes just the way for us to talk to our talent through our comms headsets. And then we have an IFB back to Aaron as well. So this is the part where I imagine some of you might have questions about it. Please let me know. This is when ClearComm really becomes the savior for us. So I'm going to minimize Zoom here, and I'm going to pull up Dante controller. So I'm going to use a lot of Dante right now. I'm going to also plug in my phone here. There we go. Get that charging up. And need this to power on. Sorry, but my phone's about to die, so I gotta power back on. Of course, the external battery dies. That's a great feature. That's all right. I'm gonna rob this for now. My laptop can go without some power for a little bit. Yeah, there's the juice. USB-C, gotta love it. Okay. Dante virtual sound card. Look at all these. Look at all these Dante transmitters and Dante receivers. So, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up Aaron's IFB. I'm gonna get the routing going for that. You know what? Here, let's go back to LinkedIn. Anything on LinkedIn? Nah. Okay, just making sure. Let's go to Amber here. So I'm gonna do Aaron's direct. So if I come off of here, so you'll see I have Aaron direct on bus C here. So if I right-click on Aaron here, this is gonna be a vMix call, like I said. He's going to bus C and bus A. Bus A is my talent bus. It's how I turn on the talent and Zoom and Aaron at the same time for audio cuts. We don't have an audio engineer for this show because it'd be overkill. But that is something where maybe if this were a client-facing show, we'd probably add an audio engineer to this just to make sure that someone's always on this. But until then, we have our Aaron direct. So Aaron's going to be coming out of bus C here. We are not using Dante Avios. We're using just Dante Virtual Sound Card for everything. Just here. Each Dante Virtual Sound Card is running the ASIO, ASIO, not AVIO, just in case that doesn't come through on my mask. ASIO drivers, which vMix can access directly. So if I come up to my settings here on my audio outputs, you'll see I have Dante Virtual Sound Card running here. This is key to making good IFB working, everyone. This is key. Cool. So with that, you can see this. So I have Zoom coming in here. So that's not doing anything. This is going to get mixed to the master bus. And then I have here, I have Aaron. Aaron's going to go to the master bus, bus A. He's also routed to bus C. So you can see bus C, Aaron direct. Right? So once Aaron's talking, he only will be going out of bus C. Bus C is Dante Virtual Sound Card Transmitter 3. Okay. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to go to Amber Talent 3, and I'm going to come down here to my SQ5. You can see I have something built in here. So I have a Allen & Heath SQ5 with a Dante card back here. The SQ5 is going to build me a mix minus. So I have Amber, Talent 3, and that's coming into Talent 1 on my SQ5. And then Barrel, this is my Zoom meeting. This is coming out of B, or Bus A on Barrel, and that's coming into Talent 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come into Parsec, and I'm going to double check this before I forget. I'm going to come to Barrel. And my Zoom output is going to Bus A. And Bus A, Dante Virtual Sound Card 1. Perfect. So Zoom is going to go to Bus A, disconnect, minimize, come back here. Yep. So Dante Transmitter 1 out of Barrel is going to Talent 2. Awesome. You see I have a few other things here. I'll get to those in a second. Actually, I'll get to those right now. We have a... let's see, where's Pearl? Pearl. There we go. Jeez. We have Pearl. Pearl's going to be our graphics playback machine, so that's coming into graphics left and right. And yeah, guys, really simple. Through my through the SQ5, I'm building a mix minus for these. So I'm probably not going to take. We'll just go on a wide of Remy 3. And of course, this is getting all tangled. There we go. So if I come over here to the comedic relief of the chair is pretty great. If I come over to my board here, I am seeing actually my Zoom machine coming in on channel 2 here, so that's good. I got that routed well. And all I do is I build a mix minus on each aux out. So, so that everyone can hear each other, but not themselves. So cool, I got that going there. And I'm just checking to make sure that's routed correctly, and it is. Awesome. Routed correctly means that the mix minus for that talent, the fader is down on themselves and up on everyone else. So, and then my graphics machine, I like to put about 5 decibels down so that they can talk to each other over the graphics should they need to. So got that 5 decibels down for each one of them. I can pull this up on a camera if you guys have any questions about the Dante routing. I'm just going to get it set and then address specific questions as they come up, because some people are very experienced with audio routing and others it's just a completely new concept. So let me know if you have any questions about that. Cool. So I'm going to come here and let's go to my audio computer. Let's see if I have anything here before I go there. Yeah. Cool. And GB audio. Cool. Excellent. So here I'm going to build an IFB. Come down to IFBs. Okay, so I have one that's routed correctly. I'm going to go over what this means in a second, don't worry. Talent 2, that's routed correctly. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so if I go to my cards and ports here, I have this Dante card here in my comms panel. This just creates a Dante port in and out of the comms system here. So the wonderful thing about this is we can route any Dante into their IFB and then back out. So I have these ports here. Don't worry too much about the labels of this. This just kind of gets into some of our own syntax. So, but I have them coming into Talent 1, R301, it's Remy 3, Talent 1, Remy 3, Talent 2. And then these are coming into IFB channels here. So we have IFBs built here already. Remy 3, Talent 1 needs the mix minus, the direct input here, and then the IFB destination here. Cool. If you've seen ClearComm, this is not going to be difficult. If you haven't seen it, you're going to say, what the hell am I looking at? Because it's ClearComm has a lot. They throw a lot at you. Don't worry too much about trying to figure out exactly what's going on here. I could literally do a 10-hour seminar on how to use ClearComm. And I still have probably 75% of it to learn because it's such a dense program, which is wonderful because you can use it for so many awesome things. Cool. Cool. And then for IP panels, I will not going to use any of these panels here. Okay, cool. So now what I want to do is here. I'm going to configure my ports here. So this right here, Paige, if you could actually take me wide, please. This panel right here is what I'm going to be using. Let's see. Ta-da! And we have this one, and then we have this one, and then we have another one over here. And this is how we talk to our talent and talk to one another during a show. There's also one by a graphics workstation back there. So that way we can all get on headsets, talk to one another, and then also talk to the talent, all within one system. It's really, really awesome. Thanks, Paige. So, so if I come here, so I'm going to be sitting at R31, which is this one. I know Nicholas, who's our remote talent producer, he's going to be sitting at R32. Nicholas is actually on another show right now, so that's why he's not in his seat yet. And Paige is going to be sitting back there doing the graphics machine. Paige is doing this show right now, so she's not sitting there yet. So what I need to do is configure our panels so that we can talk to one another, and then so that we can also talk to talent. Because Paige, she's going to need to give our talent graphics count-ins. So she's going to need to say, like, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, you're live. Nicholas is going to need to welcome them in and let them know how to use Zoom. That never happens anymore, but it used to. And I need to be here so that I can give Aaron, our main talent, just direction if needed. And him and I have a back and forth built into our IFB system here. So what I'm going to do here is go to panels, and I'm going to go to R3-1, which I know I'm going to be sitting at. You can see this is pretty messy right now. I'm going to delete that. I'm just going to kind of clear this out. You can see this is not wiped from another show. I'm going to keep Remy 3 Tal 1 and Remy 3 Tal 2. These are my IFB channels. So if I key up, I'll be able to hear them. If I push down, I'll be able to talk to them. So I'm going to keep these available here. I've got my show channel. I will keep that so that, actually, you know what? I'm not going to keep that. We'll talk to each other here. I like to minimize this as much as possible. I'm pretty happy with this layout. Remy 3, we can talk to one another. LiveX all, this is our tie lines so that if we're doing a show between Green Bay and New York, we can all be on the same channel. GB all is all of the Remys in Green Bay. Cool, so I'm actually going to, even though I took it away, now what I'm going to do is go to a fixed group here. All-tal. Cool, and I'm going to add an all-tal fixed group onto our panels. So what this will do is it'll allow us to talk to the talent all at once. Actually, you know what? That's probably why I had the all here. Let's actually configure all, because it won't just be talent. It'll be everyone. Go to my fixed groups, all. And I want to add R3-2 here. Or R3-3, excuse me. Cool. This way, with one switch, you can talk to all the talent and all the crew. That's important for count-ins. Everyone in the show needs to know when you're going live. Cool. So that's set up there. Go to my panels, and I have all set up, just making sure that I did have all. Yep. Always good to double check. Panels. Okay. So this is what this panel will have when I deploy it. So what I'm going to do is copy this layout here, and I'm going to deploy it to each one of the panels that we're using today, because we're all going to have the same access. You can see I just like switched the order for that one. Cool. I'm going to apply map to matrix and click on OK. Applying the map makes it applies all the changes I just made to our comms panels. So Paige, if you could please take my gimbal camera here wide so I can show this. The pip, awesome. Okay, so now you can kind of see, it's going to freak out, but I have the panel, it's reflecting here what I assigned it on the software, on the EHX software. And it's going to be the same for every single panel in this room, because that's the way I just set it up. There we go. That's good enough for now. Thanks, Paige. So let's rotate back. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so at this point, comms are almost set up. I've double checked that everything coming in is good, and now I need to get it back out to our systems. So I'm going to go to my Dante virtual sound card here. You know what I didn't check actually? I didn't double check that it's coming into the frame. This is all good. This is all good. Cool. We have all of our routing pretty much preset, as you can see, for our shows, so that Talent 1 on our mixer is always going to show up as Talent 1 in our ClearComm frame. Otherwise, you're just resetting it every show for no reason. It'd be completely pointless. Cool. Not the greatest opportunity for teaching, if you ask me, because I have it preset, but believe me, you wouldn't want me to click every single one over and over. It'd be an absolute drag. Cool. So R3, Talent 1, that's going to be Aaron. That's routed into Amber Receiver 1, so that's his IFB coming into Amber 1. And then I need to check with Beryl and make sure that Beryl has 2. Yep, Talent 2, IFB. So just to kind of summarize what we just did, I'm going to minimize this and close this because we're all set here. So what we just did is we just took our audio sources, routed them into the mixer, and the mixer built us our mix minus. That's a really important part. Built us our mix minus, and then the mixer also separates things into directs for us. So out of the mixer, we take our audio sources and we bring them into our clear comms panel through Dante. Once it's in the clear comms panel, the clear comm does two things. It sets up our party lines and our fixed groups. Our party lines is how we talk. Fixed groups is how you force people to listen to you. And then it also sets up our IFB. IFB is the way that we can talk to the talent directly. And the IFB has 3 components to it. It has the mix minus, the direct, and then the IFB output. We brought the things in, and then the IFB is spit out through the Dante channel. And then we bring that Dante channel back into our machines. So as you think about what we've returned to our machines, now we've returned a mix minus and then an interruptible foldback when we want to talk to them. And that's going to come over one Dante line. So that Dante line is going to have their mix minus when no one's talking to them. And once someone talks to them, it ducks their mix minus, and it allows you to hear the person who's talking to you, which in this case would be me or Paige or Nicholas. So if you have any questions about that process, let me know. I'm happy to go over it in theory and then in practice too. Okay, so now I'm back here on Amber. I know that you've been looking at this desktop for a little bit. And at this point, it's time to start testing. Because if I don't test this, then I really don't do myself any good, because what we usually do is we have people standing in. We'll as a team stand in for talent, make sure that our comms work. I'm just going to do it myself here. It's going to be a lot for my MacBook Pro to handle. But that's okay. It's necessary. So here, I'm actually going to take you with me here, and the comedy of the cable continues. Let's lift that up. Here, I'm going to unattach this You know what? Actually, I don't need to do this. I'm just gonna go grab my headset. You don't need to come with me. I'll be right back. Paige, you can keep it here. I'm gonna mute. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just needed to grab my comms headset. I was gonna bring you with me, and then I asked myself, why in the world would I go through all that trouble just to bring you with me to grab my comms headset? Alright, attach this comms headset. Let's check LinkedIn. Cool. Okay, comms headset goes into the panel. So, a few things I'm going to do here. The first thing I'm going to do is put my headset on and try to get it on. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. You guys see that? 2 headsets in one. Content. I'll do it for the content. Alright. I got so many things going and I'm not actually done because I'm going to need to get this on eventually. So what I'm going to do is test my talkback for each one of these. So I'm talking in Zoom and I can tell that's going there. Awesome. It needs to go to error and return. Here. Cool. Needs to go to the error and return. So, oh no, it doesn't. Sorry. It's going to come in through the IFB. What am I do? Let's see. Okay, so something that I need to troubleshoot right now is the fact that Aaron's IFB is currently not passing the mix minus through, so I'm going to try to figure out why that's happening. Let's go to barrel. So, okay, I got the zoom output here. That is indeed going to A. Okay, so zoom output is going to A. Barrel to SQ5, that's the next place to go. Yep. Talent 2, wonderful. Okay. Good. Disconnect. Okay, so now I'm going to check on, cool, it's coming in. Ah, I know why. My faders weren't up. So I'm going to turn up my faders. There we go. Now it should be working. And it is. Awesome. That's great. That's great news. So my faders on the SQ5 were not working. But I see something else going on here. I see that Aaron's IFB is getting something else that it shouldn't be getting. Let's see. What would that be? Turn that down. It's getting a feedback loop, and I know where it's coming from. It was getting itself coming back through Zoom. That's from an old show, so no big deal. Okay, cool. Let's see, do I have any questions coming in? No questions. Awesome. That must mean I'm doing a really great job explaining myself. Cool. I was just kidding, by the way. I'm sure it's because presenting a lot of information can be hard to figure out exactly what questions to ask. But guys, don't be afraid, please. There are no dumb questions. Awesome. Okay, so what was I doing? Ah, yes, I was testing the IFB. So if I key down, This is what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at Aaron IFB here. And I'm going to key down on his IFB channel and talk. So I'm going to be like, hey, Aaron, 1, 2, 3. And I can see that indeed Aaron's IFB lights up there. So I know that I have my talk to Aaron, and that is working there. And then some of the confusion that's happening right now with his mix minus is the fact that I'm in Zoom and listening to Zoom at the same time. So I'm going to keep that muted for now. But I can tell that his IFB is routed correctly by keying down on it. Excellent. So now what I'm going to do is create a vMix call and actually test the back and forth. So Paige, if you could please take this camera wide, I want to make sure that I don't expose the vMix call ID. Thank you. Cool. So I have Aaron right here. I'm looking at the passcode. Let's do this. vmixcall.com. Let's change this. Enter my name and enter the password. If you use vMix call, you know what I'm doing. I can't show you what I'm doing because it would allow you to take over the call to okay. Join call. Excellent. Got my other ear going in. Paige, it's safe to show. Thank you. Cool. So now, let's see, I'm hearing myself about 1 million times. Ah, yes. That'll do it. I'm coming in through Aaron. And let's meet myself on LinkedIn here. Okay, cool. So now I'm not hearing myself anywhere I'm not supposed to. So right now, funny enough, I can hear myself coming in through another Zoom call. So that's where the feedback was happening. So for some reason, I'm gonna come here. For some reason, Daisy, which is also in the call, is getting Dante. So I'm gonna take that off. There we go. And then Clover is as well. Get that off. As is Begonia. As is Aster. Okay, there we go. So the source of my feedback loop was the fact that I had the same IFB getting routed into a bunch of machines on the same Zoom call. So obviously that's going to create a pretty massive feedback loop there. Okay, I'm going to minimize that. Cool. So now what I'm going to do, there are a few awesome features about this. So the first is when I'm talking on vMix call, I'm going to be able to hear myself on direct. So I'm going to turn on my audio here. There we go. Check 1, 2. Barrel and Coral both need to be muted. Here, I'm going to do this real quick. Barrel. That's good. That's fine. I can deal with that. Coral, however, I created this as a backup. So I'm going to mute it. Check 1. Check 2. There we go. That's gone. I accidentally left the backup on. I was hearing myself twice. Okay. Excellent. So now, when I key up on myself on the IFB channel, I can hear it directly. That's awesome. We really need that because if we don't have that, then if Aaron is not on the program and he's trying to talk to me, I can't hear him otherwise. So now I'm able to hear him directly, whether he's in the program or not. And then the Zoom, we are going to do something similar. So I'm going to turn myself on in the Zoom here. And so I've unmuted my own microphone in Zoom on my personal computer. And I know what I did is I safety muted something on Barrel. Oh, geez, I always forget that I'm wired in here, so I can't just go over there. So I'm going to come back over here onto Barrel. Connect. Awesome. Okay, so you can see my Zoom output is here. So I'm going to turn this back on. Check 1, 2. Cool, that's working. Before I needed to safety mute the Zoom output because I was having a loop back, but I was able to turn that back on. So now you can see there's a bunch of audio flying all around, but it's okay because I pretty much have what I need at this point. Right now what I really need to do is get someone else in here, and this is going to happen later once Nicholas starts his other show. He's going to get on Zoom, I'm going to get on vMix call, and then we're going to talk back and forth to make sure that we can hear one another. And then I'm also going to test the interrupt as well. So if I talk here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get on my vMix call. I'm going to mute myself on vMix call so that nothing's coming in on the vMix call there. You can see right here, no audio is coming in. And then I'm going to key down, and now I can tell that my audio is coming in through the IFB. Cool. So now I've tested my IFB return through both Zoom and the vMix call. So I know that they're routed correctly. I've already found a source of loopback, of feedback, if you will. So I was able to pretty much eliminate that now. So those are both great. I was able to get most of the audio set up already. I'm going to refresh and make sure I'm not missing any comments. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to disconnect here. Go. Disconnect. I'm going to get off this call here. Go. Always, before you hang up your Zoom call or your vMix call, make sure that you strike a pose. It's a must. You must do it. There we go. I don't know why I went with the peace sign. That's just kind of my go-to. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's move on to getting the mortises set up. So now that I have something standing in for Aaron there, and I have these here, I can double check my mortises and build those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on to show here. This is going to be my switching area where I actually switch the show here. Let's take off a headset here. There we go. So now that I have this, I can basically create all my boxes. So I'm going to go on to my Trello so I can see again who all of our talent is. Let's see. Am I good on screen grab? Yeah, it's not frozen. Excellent. Cheesehead TV. G. Live show creator. Awesome. Cool, and I have a bunch of shows, or a bunch of assets getting loaded in here, which is awesome. Cool, so I'm going to set up all of my speakers. So I have one box with Aaron. That's good. I have one box with Corey. If I click on this, I can see that Corey will be there. That's great. So once Corey actually joins the Zoom meeting, we'll flip that input. Two box with Aaron and Corey. Awesome. One box with AJ. Looks good. Two box with Aaron and AJ. Looks good. So I need a bunch more two boxes. That's where I'm going to start with this. So in this case, I can create virtual inputs here. I talked about this in the vMix Bootcamp series. You want to be careful with virtual inputs because they don't auto mix audio. But in this case, it's fine because our audio is external of our vMix session. We're not using audio follows video for this. Cool. So our first thing that I'm going to do is do Corey, AJ. At some point, they'll need to talk to one another. And here, let's see. Cool. So I'm just going to swap out Aaron with Zoom. There we go. I call this one Zoom because the audio input is Zoom, but Corey is always going to be pinned on this machine. Excellent. So two box AJ and Corey is good. So I'm going to go here and create a virtual input here. Cool. So I'm going to do, this time I'm going to do, let's see, who needs one? We have Dire AJ. So this is going to be Zoom Gust 2. Oh, good God. Why did I do that? Zoom Gust 2. There we go. Ah, and you know what I need to do? I need to actually change my pins on all these. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get up. I'm going to do that all right here. Jasmine, Aster. Cool, so Aster's right here. Excellent. Okay, program received. So Aster. This is going to be Tyler. Okay, Tyler's good. So Tyler will be on Aster. That's good to know. Begonia. I'll put Dyer there. I don't know if Dyer is how you say it. I'm saying Dyer like I say Jair Alexander, who's also a Packers player. My mouse isn't quite showing up where I want it to show up. Let's see. Why can I not see the mouse? Here. Title editor. So we're going to do this. Dyer. Let's see. You guys see this? See my mouse cursor? There we go. Cool. And then I can click on, I don't know where why my mouse cursor isn't working. I think it's Control Alt. There we go. Luckily I knew my keyboard shortcuts for that. That's weird. For some reason Begonia, the mouse wasn't showing up. Cool. Coral, it's working. Or Clover, it's working. Excuse me. Cool. So we don't have Ross on Clover. Today on Clover, we actually have, I believe it's, oh, mouse isn't showing up here either. It's okay. Today, we don't have Ross, we have Justice. Justice. Cool, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. The first time this has ever happened. There we go. I guess Parsec isn't liking what I'm doing here. Cool. All there. Awesome. And then Daisy, we have Jimmy. Never met Jimmy. Jimmy's a new one. So here, title editor. Here we're gonna go with Jimmy. That's right. Jimmy. Excellent, excellent. There we go. And Control Alt. There we go. Good. Thank God I know the keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so now we should be good. So Aaron, AJ, so here, Dyer is there. Awesome. I'm going to clear this to avoid confusion. Yeah, Scott, the signal flow diagram of the IFB channels is a bit of a monster because ClearCom does a lot of kind of routing for you, and the routing is so contextually dependent that it's difficult to actually draw out. The IFB kind of inserts itself not as a gate, but it's like a switch. It's almost like a ducking switch. Okay, so hey, welcome South Union NBC. Glad to have you. We're just setting up a show. We're setting up a show together. I'm setting up Carry the G with AJ Dillon on Cheesehead TV today. and let us know if you have any questions while we do it. So for this one, this is going to be, let's see, Justice, a journalist with Acme Packing, I do believe. Excellent, so Justice is there. I'm going to create another virtual input. And this is going to be Jimmy. Oh, duh, one that specifically says Tyler. Jimmy. Awesome. And then we also need to create one with Tyler as well. Create a new one here. Tyler, Mr. Tyler Herrick. Tyler AJ, multi-view. That's not right. AJ. And Tyler. Cool. Cool, so I have Corey, Dair, Justice, Jimmy. Oh, this needs to be switched. I'm a dummy. Jimmy. AJ, there we go. AJ is always on the right. Tyler, cool. All right, that's all good. Like I said, I don't really need a 3-box. 3-box is not particularly important for this one. It's also completely possible that Tyler's not going to be here today either. He was on his honeymoon recently. Cool, 6-box. I got Aaron. I got AJ Dillon. Tyler will not be in it. That's going to be Corey. Actually, I'm going to put Corey there. Let's put here... Oh, geez. I'm all turned around. All turned around. Zoom. Here, we're going to do that. And then... Let me zoom gust 3. Zoom gust 4. I already have these preset on the coordinates, if you can't already tell. So it's possible then that we're going to go to our 5-box if and only if we have someone drop off. So like let's say instead of, I don't know, instead of Tyler, maybe Tyler doesn't join, or maybe one of our hosts, one of our other panelists doesn't join, I would use the 5-box instead. But for now, I haven't heard anything, so I'm just going to assume that it's going to work. Cool. Cool. Looks like my phone is still kicking. Cool. All right, so all my boxes are good. I got my 2 boxes. I got my 6-box. Other 2 boxes. So it's possible from here that I might create some other ones, but as you can see, it's pretty easy to quickly pull up. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Okay, so now the last part of the setup before we really test it and really dive in to making sure we're talking back and forth. That's a critical part of it, guys. Never underestimate just standing in for the talent and talking to yourself and making sure that your setup is good that way. The last thing we need to do is download our assets onto our graphics machine. So this Amber machine is not going to do all of our processing. It's a pretty actively switched show. I'm going to be technical directing the show, so I'm going to be switching it. I am pretty active with my cutting. I don't want to be worried about bringing in graphics. So what we do instead, if I come here, is we have this machine here, this graphics. And so what this is this is actually an NDI input. So I'm going to overlay this here. And this, I'll actually do it on 4. 4 is always going to be in. It's always on top. This is my top layer. 3. I'll do 3 just in case I would ever need to put something over it, but I don't think I ever will. So 3 will be the layer that my graphics machine over NDI comes in. So how do I do this? Well, I'm going to use Parsec again rather than... The graphics machine is actually right next to me, but rather than switch monitor for page, I'm just going to pull it up here. So the graphics are going to be run on Perl. Here we go. Excellent. And so you can see here, there are some graphics that we have preloaded here. We have a lower third. The lower thirds are pretty self-explanatory. So when setting up a graphics machine, here's what you need. You need a transparent layer. And a transparent layer is literally just, you go to add input, you go to blank, and then you come to the blank input, and you go to color adjust, and you turn the alpha all the way up. That's all it is. And then you set I and O. So I is an in and O is an out. So if I want to put the AJ Dillon slate in, I put that on preview and I turn on I. That brings it in. Anytime I click on O, it fades to the transparent layer. And I do that with a shortcut up here. Go to my shortcuts. You can see I have a lot of them here. And you can see that O is a merge transition. The way that vMix works is if you want to fade to transparent, you actually need to merge to a transparent. If you click on fade, it's a cut. It's how vMix does the layering. So if I click I, it fades in on whatever is on the input here. You can see that. On whatever is on the preview here, excuse me. It fades into the preview. If I click O, it merges to my transparent layer here. So I fades it on, O fades it out. It doesn't matter what I'm on here. I go to I here. I don't need to preview transparent. I just click O and it does it automatically. So that's a really important tip on making this work. Making this work here. I'm gonna make sure I'm not cut off here a little bit. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to download some assets here. So here, actually, I'm going to let Paige, whenever you can take me wide again, let me know, because I don't want to pull up Chrome without having that protection there. Thank you. Did. Oh, why is it inverted? DJI, your gimbal is backwards. Okay, so I'm going to go to Live Show Creator here. Live Show Creator. Live Show Creator is a LiveX product. It's pretty awesome. Unlike Rivet or VVCR, we don't sell it, but it helps you build show flows that are contextual with graphics. Cool. Cheesehead TV. Almost ready, Paige. Almost ready. Sign in with Google. Trade the G week 9. Okay, Paige. All good. Thanks. Cool. So I have a script here that has the assets in place. So I'm basically just going to download all these. So I have new credits. So with Live Show Creator, I can actually preview credits, and I can see here in the preview before I download it if it's correct. So I'm going to preview it, and I'm going to make sure that the guest panel matches here. So I have Justice, Jimmy, and Dair. So cool. So I know that this is the right asset. So that's the really awesome thing about Live Show Creator. Slate, I don't need to download this. I already have this. Intro, I don't need to download this. I have this. So I'm going to download all these. I'm going to download Family, Door County, AJPick.com. Social Life, I'll already have that. Credits, I need that. Just want to talk a little bit again about why we do graphics machines with NDI. It's really important that you don't do too much with one machine, in my opinion. If you can afford to do so. You know, I do a lot of shows completely in AWS where excuse me, where it doesn't so much matter how many machines you have, because you just pay per instance. But even this, what we're doing right now with the graphics machine, you don't need a production bot to do this. You can do this on a laptop with NDI, and it's going to save you a lot of hassle. You need absolutely no hardware inputs or outputs. All you need is a computer attached to a network. It's pretty beautiful because you can delegate CPU-intensive tasks like streaming and mixing to one computer, which is my PBot, and then you can do GPU tasks like graphics on a machine that's just for that, and you don't need to split up assets. So that's really important. And yeah, Scott, in this case, we're just using vMix. I mean, you know, it's, yeah, could we use a Zadora, or we could use a bunch of graphics playback options. vMix is awesome because all of our operators know vMix. That's why we use vMix. That's really it. And when you hire a freelancer knows how to use vMix, you're good. You're totally good. We find that working with freelancers is more important than being married to any single software. Having said that, just as the industry has switched over to vMix in such force, at least the industry that we're in, which is really streaming focused, like internet streaming focused, not as much broadcast, traditional broadcast, we find that people know how to use vMix. So we use vMix more now than we ever have. Okay, cool. Enough of that. So I'm going to go to my live show creator here, and cool. Slate, we got that. Intro, we got that. Open on Aaron. Aaron, we're going to have a lower third for Aaron, so I'm going to make sure that I have that. Aaron, lower 3, L3, in. That's going to play. And then that does this nice transition out. I go out on that. Restart. Corey, we usually don't do a lower third for Corey here because Corey's in the Zoom room. That's good. Corey's lower third is there if we should need it. Cool. And go out. Restart that. And AJ. AJ's lower third is there. Awesome. We'll skip ahead. It goes out. Wonderful. Could have those automatically restart, but I don't. Q&A. This is a pretty important part of the show. So I'm going to go to my live show creator, and I'm going to copy these in. So would you like to take some wildcat snaps? Let's copy that. And I'm going to go into QA and go to the title editor here. And with the text block here, I can edit specific parts of this. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go here. Paste that in. Would you like to take some wildcat snaps? Awesome. Cool. I'm going to go in there, and I can see it there. It's formatted well. That's good formatting for that text. So I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, and I'm going to basically keep doing that. So what's been your favorite career? You know, I sure hope that AJ Dillon is not watching this stream, getting some inside info on what the questions are going to be. I am 100% sure he is not watching this. Title. Okay, I'll just keep pasting these in. This is a really awesome way to do this because you don't need a separate lower third for each question. Ooh, that's gonna get him. What happened with on the punt attempt? Man, that's the first hardball question maybe we've ever had on Carry the G. Calling out AJ for some special teams. What did the Packers offense learn last night? Man, two tough questions. Okay, I'm gonna add another line here. Paste that in. Cool. All right, that's good. Okay, and then last one. Trees. Okay, then we had to end with one comedic question for AJ. Awesome, and those are good because they all fit into the slot that we have there. You can see that. So cool. I'm gonna get this one. Keep it there. Awesome. So our Q&A is filled in. Then we have our social life. So I'm gonna go in. You can see I'm gonna make sure audio rolls here, and it does. I am looking at our meters. I can see that it's coming in. Awesome. Out. Cool. Social life. Okay, so now we have tweet, Door County, and GB Green Bay Packer family. So here's the way we do this. So I take this background, and I'm going to, create a bunch of virtual inputs with this. So brother tweet. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to do create virtual input. And I'm going to do, I'm just going to name these as they are on a show flow. And then here I'm going to do, let's see, brother tweet. Cool. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And you know what? Let's put a border on there. Why not? And then put a white border on it. Thickness, give it 7, just to make it stand out a little bit. How does that look? That looks really bad. I don't like that. I don't like how vMix's borders aren't applied symmetrically across the whole thing. So if you have a source that's only this big, it doesn't scale the border equally across all of it. Here, it'll be more apparent if I do this. 15. See how the border is, there's more border on top and bottom than there are on the sides? Hopefully they fix that in a new update. Maybe if you're watching a replay of this, it's fixed by now. Alright, so I'll take the border away. Alright, brother, JPEG. So I'm actually going to create virtual inputs off of this now. Virtual input. Next one is Door County. Tyler might not ask these in order. Door County. A JPEG. Cool. And I'm just going to swap this one in for doorcounty.png. Excellent. Create virtual input. And then this one is GBP family. Family. So, Scott, our end product will be YouTube and Facebook for this one. We do sometimes have an audience on Zoom, but not for this show. Something else. That's a really awesome picture. When did that come in? Oh, look at this picture. I missed that one. That's a cool picture. Yeah, so we're just going to go to YouTube and Facebook for this one. And I might do the streaming out of vMix. I might do it out of a Clearcaster. We will see. And I only have about 10-15 minutes left on this stream, unfortunately, because then we got to get to testing. And I'm probably going to do that off air. Picture. AJ pick. Awesome. Cool. Picture here. Alright, and then I can kind of minimize some of these things. At this point, I'm going to leave these here, and then I have this preset. Paige is going to show up, and she's going to organize this in the order that makes the most sense for her. So, you know, the assets are there. That's what matters. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to restart this, and I'm going to play this and then quickly bump over here. Oh, here. Make sure the audio's on. There's music to this one. Credits, probably going to turn it down a little bit. And the other thing I want to do is there's a stinger. And our stinger is just set up here. Oh, clicked the wrong one. Overlay, stinger. Here, stinger 1. You can just see it's a 1 second stinger. So that's set up in our stinger input here. Cool. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to play. Let's sting it in. Cool. I'm going to disconnect. And I'm going to come to this. Cool. So I see it running here. So this, you can see it's just overlaid. So it's over whatever I put it on. And that's just coming in over input layer 3. I see the music coming in. That's great. I see the music was going to the IFE there. So that's all routed correctly. That's great. Yeah, Scott, I would enjoy that. I think you know, we might do a behind the scenes cutting it. I think it's honestly it's a lot for me to manage, right? I like, my voice is going here. I can barely keep up with my own show. I can't even figure out how to use a microphone correctly with a cable, much less live stream myself cutting a show. But of course you can watch it, and you know, now that you've seen the sources, I think you could probably get the hang of it. So okay, so at this point I'm in pretty good shape. I got Zoom coming in here. It's because I haven't muted myself. Awesome. So if I mute myself in Zoom, this should go away, and it does. That's a good sign. Aaron, this is going to be ready to go soon. We have passed our Zoom link onto our talent. We have brought our graphics in. We've brought all of our people in. We've mostly tested IFBs. At this point, we're pretty much ready to go, except for our streaming. I actually think I've set this up. Paige, can you just take me wide real quick, just in case I haven't set up the stream? I don't want to reveal our stream keys. Thank you. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Thank you. You can come back out. So there are two ways we can do this. The first is I can stream right from vMix here. We do this sometimes, but we also have a Clearcaster that I might route this through. So what I'm going to do here is, I mean, I already have external clicked on here, with external output settings. You can see my master bus is going through Corvid 88 output 7. Settings here, outputs, output. Cool. So we're good there. So now basically the main output of my machine is just taking, I just confirmed it's taking the main switched output in the master bus out. So if I want to, I can come here, Jeremy 3 Smart Hub. This is pretty much hard patched here. This is my output, Pbot R3A07 tied engineering hub. I go to the engine. Oh wait, it's in the Clearcaster. The Clearcaster primary, so it's already there. So if I wanted to, I could bring this into a Clearcaster. Both my primary and my backup. I might set my primary to Facebook. I might set my backup to YouTube, or vice versa. Y'all probably know how to stream to YouTube and Facebook, so I'm not going to belabor that point. So, yeah, you know, I think that this is probably the last place to ask any questions, if you have any. I'm just going to kind of give just like a brief summary of it. Paige, if you wouldn't mind just taking the Remy 3 camera wide, and then I'll just kind of like go over just a summary of how we have this set up now that you've seen all the pieces come together. So there is a machine in the rack. That's the graphics machine. That's the only thing you can't see right now. That's a vMix server. So you can see I have my multi-view set up here so that my graphics operator and the talent producer can see at all times our inputs. So if we have a talent that needs to be moved one way or the other, we all are going to be aware of that right away. So I got that going here. This monitor right here is just a full screen output of my production bot here. I have full screen on, so this is just the vMix output. This right here, that's a Blackmagic Multiview 16 going right there. And I route the Multiview 16 through the Blackmagic Smart Hub, just like everything else. Got this mess of cables going here. So on Barrel, which is right next to me, you're almost there. Awesome. You did it, Jeremy. On Barrel, which is right here, there we go. On that one right there, I have my primary Zoom feed or fold back and my primary Zoom audio return coming in right there. On Coral, that is another Zoom pin. That's my backup audio foldback and my backup audio coming in as well. So if for whatever reason Barrel went down, I'd fail over to that. It's important to always have those backups in mind. If Amber fails, I literally restart it and I go and I try to, get that to come back up, and then I go grab another Pbot if that doesn't work. That's never happened. I shouldn't have said that. I should knock on some wood right now. Over there is our Zoom garden. There's no audio I/O happening over there. It's just video I/O right now. We are able to do audio I/O, of course, but we don't have audio ISOs for every talent this time, so it's really not necessary. All of those are feeding in over SDI. There's no NDI anywhere here coming into our PBot, and we have hardwired SDI coming into our PBot, grabbing each one of those screens. And we do the screen capture, outputting through vMix to get over here. The last part of it is our graphics machine. Our graphics machine is in our rack here. It's behind the camera that we're watching right now. That is the only NDI source that we're using inside our switching machine. Oh, and one thing I want to show you, actually, Paige, if you could come back to Amber here, is if I go into my settings here, and let's just pretend that this is my graphics machine. Again, this is not my graphics machine. Let's pretend it were. If I wanted transparency on NDI, you come into here, the output settings, and you make sure that the alpha channel is set to straight for this one, for NDI, I believe. And yeah, straight. Pre-multiplied is if you were doing a key fill out of like a Blackmagic card, which we're not doing today. We're just using NDI, so we need to make sure that that alpha channel is on straight. Cool, thanks, Paige. We can go back to the wide now. And so that's the only source we have is that's the only NDI source we have is in the rack. Come through here. Right here we have our audio mixer. This audio mixer is building our mix minuses. We only have 2 mix minuses. We have one going to the vMix call and one going to the Zoom meeting. Really simple audio setup here. The only other source we have is the graphics machine. It's just another fader on our Allen and Heath here. This Allen and Heath spits out mix minuses, spits out direct inputs over Dante into our ClearComm. As it's been mentioned, the ClearComm is a whole other animal. It's extremely powerful. It's what creates our IFBs for us. And it's awesome to have dedicated IFBs per talent, but we don't need it for this show in particular. Our comms panels is how we interact with our talent. I will be in the Zoom meeting for a backup in case something were to happen. I'd be able to talk to them over Zoom. Try to avoid doing that as much as possible, and you try to use the comms panels. Then the comms panel is how we talk to them. That routes their IFB. Our IFB is spit back out into Barrel and Coral. Coral's a backup. Barrel's our primary IFB return for the Zoom. IFB for the vMix call for Aaron comes back into Amber here, and we put that out over audio buses. So there's a lot of audio busing happening to make that all happen. Once they hear it, they're going to hear it over the vMix call. We have the option to interrupt their mix minus to give them something in their ear. It ducks the program audio so that they can hear us directly. And that's really it. That's really it in summary. I know this was a long stream. I know a few of you stuck around for all of this, and I really appreciate that. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you learned about a different sort of workflow. There are so many ways to do this, and I do this in different ways depending on if we're on-prem or in the cloud. This was also a weird setup because I'm doing it all myself, and let me tell you, it's way better to not set this up yourself. And I'm not saying that for workload. I'm saying it's more effective. It's more effective if you have more people. So the reason I'm going to sign off here is I got to get Paige off her switcher in there and in here to do some testing with me. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to go to my gimbal cam here. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. We really appreciate it. This is not going to be available for replay right now because the replay, we were worried that I might accidentally expose some sort of like IP address or something. So I might be able to check on replay momentarily, but we're going to have bits and pieces of this available. I will relist this for replay once stream ends for now. I just selected that. So if you have anything in specific that you want to go back to, feel free to do that. I'm going to check the comments one more time, and I also got an email from my buddy Brian. And Brian, thanks for watching, man. It's great to see you in the chat. I'm glad that you didn't have any questions. I know that you're a pro at this, right? thanks everyone for watching so much. We really appreciate it. We'll be posting it. If you have any questions, you know where to ask them. You can always email me to jeremy@livex.tv. Feel free to say hi. We always love your engagement. It's so great to see people here watching. So thanks for watching. See you in the pre-recorded ones. Have a great night. And as always, happy broadcasting. Thanks. Bye.